ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities, success, and the right people into their lives while others just feel stuck? Today, we're talking about manifestation, intuition, and how our energy might influence a life we create. Welcome back. I'm Tracy Mullin, and today we're joined by my friend, Mervat Ignuta, a clairvoyant, manifestation coach, and energy healer, and the founder of the Halo. Through her work, Mervat helps people break through limiting patterns, reconnect with their intuition, and align with the life they truly want. Welcome, Mervat.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So tell me, what is manifestation and why does it kind of get a bad rap?
I think that manifestation is actually growing like crazy, but I think that people just don't understand it as a whole.
Right.
People don't realize you are manifesting all day, every day, except for when you're sleeping. It's like gravity. You can't shut it off. And what dictates that manifestation is your vibrational frequency, your energy. Just like you wake up in the morning and you're having a fantastic day and all of the fantastic things find you. You have all green lights on the way to work and someone pays for your coffee in line and there's free lunch that day and someone decides to take you out for dinner later on. And all these wonderful things start aligning with you. Why? Because you are vibrating on the same frequency as all of those things. Same with when you wake up and you're like, ugh, this is the worst day ever. I'm late. You get behind grandma, driving to work. Someone cuts you off. You almost get into an accident. Your shoe heel breaks, like all of these things. Why? What was different between one day and the next? Just your frequency. So manifestation is about, or I should say active manifestation is when your life completely changes. It's when you start manifesting on purpose rather than willy-nilly, let's just see what happens today. And that's where the magic really comes in.
I remember the first time I heard of manifestation was when the law of attraction came out and The Secret. I think they both came out right around the same time.
Yeah.
And I remember being fascinated as I'm in sales and taking that on in terms of, sales, leads, people in my life, growing your business. All of those things were so important in the foundation of getting started.
Yeah, that's when it first really started becoming more mainstream, I would say. And so people reading that, like their whole lives changed because they had never thought of this concept before. And so I would say that in general, if you are even close to this world, you have heard almost everything there is to hear about manifestation. But then the real question then becomes, okay, why is my life not the way that I want it to be then?
Yeah, like why am I stuck? Or
Right.
why are things not working out for me?
Exactly.
Or, your spouse dies or something happens in your life that's really terrible and awful. And or there's a situation in your life and you get stuck there. Why do people get stuck? Why do they stay stuck?
I think that people think about where they have been and then they keep thinking about it over and over and over again. And they keep those lower vibrations active within them. They keep reactivating what has happened. And then it keeps kind of perpetuating into their future. And I've heard this all the time. Mervat, you don't understand. Mm-hmm. You don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've lived through. You don't know what I've seen. And I hear you. I get it. I understand. We've all been through some crazy things in our lives. And when you truly, truly want to shift out of that pattern, it requires you also to make peace with the past is done. It's gone. And you just have right now. And the things that you can do in order to move yourself forward is to become acutely aware of that. Sure, we can honor where we have been. Sure, we can look back and say, yeah, that really affected me, that made me, that shaped me into who I am today. And now I can choose something else. And now I can grow from that space. What's actually kind of coming to me is like the image of like a pot of dirt. Okay, you get planted in this dirt. Sure, It's dirt, but it has all of the nutrients that you need in order to sprout out and grow into the flower, right? The flower petals are gleaming. They understand that the sun is where they get their nutrients from now too, right? And so you're way up here. But if you're just still stuck in the dirt, thinking about the dirt, talking about how you came from dirt, well,
there's going to be more dirt.
There's going to be more dirt.
Yeah.
It's going to be more. It's going to be harder for you to grow from that. So you got everything you needed.
Yeah. You said something important. You said something about having a pattern. So talk to me a little bit about somebody being in a pattern. Is it like a thought pattern? Is it?
Yeah, it can be a thought pattern. It can be, we have so many habits that we don't even realize that we have. So as a clairvoyant manifestation coach, that's something that comes easy to me to pull out that pattern. I can just see it within the person. They don't have to talk about it. They don't have to say it. They don't have to do anything like that. I can just see it myself in your energy field and just pull it out. Like, Tracy, you keep self-sabotaging yourself. You keep saying this. You keep saying that. You keep doing this. You keep doing that. Stop it. We need to find better ways. And sometimes people just don't even realize they're doing it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. First of all, you have to be aware that you're doing it.
Exactly.
So you have a pattern and it's over and over again.
Yeah.
I call that like the secular, the thought pattern of keep going over and over and over in your mind about all the past things you've done. Yeah. It's usually your childhood is where it starts.
Right. And you got to disrupt the pattern, right? You also have to distinguish between what is your voice in your head and what is not your voice in your head. Some people get confused about that, but your higher self is always going to be in alignment with you being successful, being happy, living a joyous life. Okay. Your higher self is always going to see that things are always going to work out for you in the end. If you look back on your life, you can see that. That's why they say hindsight is 20/20. You look back and you're like, yeah, I did learn from that. I did grow from that. Oh, well, he cheated on me, but then that actually led me to this. And then I grew from that. And then I never was like that, again. And I really was able to pinpoint things that were important to me from then on, or my values changed afterwards. Great. You actually got what you needed from that space, right? We usually grow in this place of discomfort. Mm-hmm. But when we're awakening to this place of, oh, I can see the patterns that I was in the past, and I want to move myself from that. What do I do? And I can pull that out. Yeah, that's where everything changes.
Mm-hmm. Well, how does intuition fall into this? Do you think, I was listening to a podcast the other day and he talked about how, a woman could go to get on an elevator and they go to get in and there's a man standing there and their spidey senses could go crazy on them, but they would still get into an elevator because they wouldn't want to look bad or hurt the person's feelings, even though they had those spidey senses. So do you think intuition is a really important part of manifesting?
1,000% yes. 1,000% yes. Your intuition, whether you want to call it your intuition, your gut instincts, whatever it is, that place within you. So I have a program called the Limitless Manifestation Academy, and I teach people how to basically tap into that intuitive side of themselves so much, so strongly that it doesn't matter what is happening in the outside world of reality. Mm-hmm. Your intuition is going to guide you forward in the best way possible to avoid all the potholes, all of the little things that you need to avoid. But you almost need to, it's almost like blindfolding you and then being like, okay, walk to the other side, and being like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I can't take a single step. But when you trust your intuition, you can walk across no problem, right? So you trusting your intuition is the most important thing that you can possibly learn how to do in this life.
Wow. That's really powerful. I think especially for women because we second guess ourselves
Most definitely.
And whether it's in relationship or it's our job or it's ourselves as a parent
for sure.
It's just all over. It's rattling in our head.
For sure. Men and women have grown up with different kind of influences. And so for women, you're right. It's about, well, don't be too much and don't be too loud and don't be too extra and just be agreeable and be nice and be accommodating. That's what you're supposed to do. So going outside of that is not considered good. And so no one really cares if you're not feeling good or whatever. Just figure it out and get back in there, do what you have to do. And same for like on the men's side, it's more about duty, like suppressing your emotions. Like no one cares. Be a man, do what you got to do, man up, And so you almost have to crush those emotions and feelings in order to just, well, I'm the one that has to save everyone in my family. I'm the one that has to wake up and do the thing. If I don't do this, I'm not seen as a man. And there's this ideology there that they have to live up to. And if they're not, then they feel like a failure. And so there's very different complexities to men and women.
And that identity really drives us forward and has us sometimes do things that we don't really want to do.
Right.
Right. When we talked about our intuition, how visualization comes into play and how important it is for, even if we're, like we just got through the Olympics, for example, and how important it is for those people that are going through a sports the way they are, how they need to visualize themselves on the podium, collecting their medal. Yeah. What way would you work with a sports person to get them to see their win?
Yeah.
Before it happens?
I think that there is a lot of buildup that happens on an internal level and really like seeing it and feeling it. That's why we always say like your emotional scale, your emotions play such an integral part in your visualizations, because visualizing something is perfectly fine. If I said visualize a red bird, sure, you can visualize a red bird. Great. Now what? But when you are really immersing yourself into that visualization, it takes it to a completely different level. So when you're like, okay, picture a gold medal, great. I can picture a gold medal, no problem. But now visualize yourself standing on the podium. Everyone's looking at you. You did it. It's done. All the hard work, it was worth it.
So you're saying the feeling
yes,
of...
they're putting it around your neck. You can feel the weight of it. You finally made it. You know that everything you did led you to this place. All the hard work, all the nights you spent up, all the times you were tired, all the injuries you worked through, everything. Can you feel how much joy, pride, happiness, relief you feel in this space while everyone is clapping for you? Takes it to a completely different level.
It does. And how many of these athletes now are using manifestation, and how much of their day would be spent manifesting? Would it just be like them lying in bed and having these feelings, or would this be part of their whole day?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it would be part of their whole entire day, but they would understand what it feels like in that space prior to them even getting there. And I remember having a client ages ago. He was a high school teacher, and he coached the football team, and they took that football team to another stadium where they had like a higher level playing there, and one of them was the scouts that would basically take people, and they were like, what do you look for when you are taking these athletes in? What makes the difference between you make the cut or you don't make the cut? And they said, when we're looking at athletes, there are tons of them that have incredible skill. But the ones that we want are the ones that have the mindset of being the winner, being in that space of knowing that even a loss is only a momentary pause in time, and it's a learning curve, right? Like, and you can do better. it was an interesting thought process at the time of just mindset is just so important. You don't even realize it. And technically, no one's really involved in your mindset. It's up to you and only you. If you want to believe it's never going to happen, no one can really tell you otherwise. If you want to believe absolutely nothing will stop you, no one can tell you otherwise. It's a very individual thing. And so when you realize that's something that you could take ownership for, that you can really excel with, man, I'll tell you a story. I remember when I first got married and my husband, I don't know why, I've just always had unwavering faith in things. I've just always had like a really strong intuition. And we would go to, what do you call it? One of those Jack and Jills, you know? And I'm like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this and this and this. I'm just going to win. And he's like, okay, well, hopefully you do. And I said, no, I'm going to win.
Do it.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, but like there's lots of other people here. So like, hopefully you do, but there's other people here. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to win. And the more I would say, I'm going to win, he would get so annoyed and angry with me because
he still married you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what you got into. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I would win those things and he would be like blown away. And this would happen again. And I'll tell you, I recently like started taking up golf, and this is like the testament to
I would like to see you manifest that white ball into the hole.
Right. So I was like, I'm gonna get a hole in one someday. And my husband, without missing a beat, just turns to me and says, if anyone could get a hole in one, it's you, right? Because now he gets it. Like I've just decided. And so therefore it shall be. So what could you decide? What could you just decide in your head? Even if you told nobody about it, doesn't matter. What could you decide today? It's going to happen. Screw it. I don't care what the odds are. I don't care what the chances are. I don't care. I'm just going to do it.
So it sounds like some people need to have a what. They need to know what do they want to achieve.
Yeah.
And they need to know kind of like why do they want to achieve it. Like they have to have a reason why.
Right.
But it sounds like the manifesting is more like the how. Is that like...
Actually, the how is the one thing we do not...
But they need the how to go with the other part of it, right? They need the action plan.
There's always action in manifestation. We like to call it inspired action. So what is it that you are inspired to do? Now, that thing could seem like it is not related at all whatsoever to the thing that you're trying to manifest. But it's kind of like, have you ever manifested something or something came into your life and you're like, oh my God, this is the exact thing I wanted. I had no idea that this is the exact... How the hell did this end up here? And then you follow the trail. How did this get here? How did this particular cup get here? And you're like, well, I got it from the kitchen, and actually it just showed up in the kitchen. These glasses are new, and somebody else, you go to, who actually bought these? Oh, I found those actually at the thrift store. And well, lo and behold, this is the exact one my grandma used to have in her cupboard. But how did it get here? I could have never anticipated that line of events and then all of a sudden, boop, here we go. The cup is now placed in front of me with water in it for me to drink. And this is actually the one that I was just thinking about the other day that my grandma used to have in her cupboard. So maybe the inspiration is just following the line of saying, yeah, I would love to be on a podcast with you, Tracy. And then me sitting here and
here she is.
Yes. Because that's divine alignment of doing the thing that makes you feel good. And when you're moving with inspired action, that inspired action is usually leading you into a place of what's the next right move for me? What feels good in this next right move? Some people are overwhelmed by the answers to that because they're trying to get too many things that cause stress. Like, I need money now.
Well, I was just going to say that, especially in today's economy, most people are trying to manifest money if they're manifesting that at all.
Right.
Correct?
Right. And so the answer is like taking a few steps back from that. Because I actually had someone say this to me the other day. I said, well, if you could manifest anything, what would it be? And they're like, a fatter bank account.
$1 million.
Yeah, a fatter bank account. And I was like, okay.
But why?
And then what?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh. And they had no answer.
Right. So they don't know where they want to go.
Right. They're just like, oh, I don't know. Exactly. Anything can happen.
You've got to want it. Got to ask the universe for it.
Right. Has to mean something to you. Has to inspire something within you that really makes a difference in your heart.
So how would you support a business owner, let's say, or let's just say an entrepreneur who wants to start a business but has all these, fears? Maybe they're stuck and they think, oh, well, I can't have that, or it won't be right for me to get that, or I will look too successful, So how would you help somebody that is an entrepreneur? They have an idea, but they don't know where to start because they're just a little bit stuck. What would you do?
Yeah, usually I pull out where they're stuck because it's different for everybody.
True.
Sometimes it's in self-worth. Sometimes it's in the how. Sometimes they... I have a client right now. She is an incredible artist, but she's focusing her attentions elsewhere because in her mind, she's like, this equals money because I do this job and then it gets money. And I'm like, but this artistry, where her true heart lies, where her true passion lies, is going to be worth so much more. But it's bridging that gap in the belief system of you feel it calling you. You know it's for you. And if anybody is watching and you are in this space and you know that other thing is calling you, do it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing right now, but you can be slowly tipping the scales.
I like that thought process.
Yeah, the energy right now is shifting into your favor. And so you need to allow it to be in your favor. When we reject it, yeah, of course, we're like, oh, nothing ever good happens for me. Okay, well, if you want to, keep on that track, but could you be open to a different version of reality? My mentor is notorious for saying the words in the past, and I say her words all the time. When you say something that you do not want to perpetuate into the future, you have to use the words in the past first. In the past, I wouldn't be able to do this. In the past, this gave me anxiety. In the past, I failed miserably at this. What you energetically do is leave that behind you and open yourself up to the universe saying, okay, universe, I'm ready for a new version of reality. I'm ready for something new. And when you're ready for something new, new can come in.
I've talked about this on a podcast before about how I use a clicker. So it's like you go into a casino and the clicker that counts the people, and I use that for positive thinking. And what I do is I'll say, I am kind, I am generous, I am confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. I'll do 1,000 a day when I'm feeling like my energy's not there. Yeah. And I teach other people how to do this clicker and do the 1,000 clicks. And within 4 or 5 days, you're starting to feel so powerful and so positive and so grateful.
Yeah.
And what I was just going to say is there is a second component to that. The first component is the positive attitude. Of course, to manifest, you need to have a positive attitude. That's just so important. The second part is maybe creating like that plan that goes with the positive and taking action on it. So you can't just say, I am confident, I'm confident. Or let's just say you were having trouble with money and you said, I am financially sound, I'm financially sound, I'm financially sound. Part of the process of that would be taking action to do $50 a month to a savings account or $50 a month to your RSP or whatever that looked like, would be taking action on that positive mindset.
Yeah. I would even say that, so sometimes I say that affirmations can work against you if you go too far. So if you are in a place where you're struggling with money, saying the affirmation, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire over and over and over again is too far. And you know that it's too far because it immediately triggers your brain
Anxiety.
to be like, you're not a millionaire, you're barely making rent, you know, like you're barely making your bills. And so you're definitely not a millionaire. And that grows within you, and that anxiety does actually grow that says, oh my gosh, I'm saying all the right things, but I'm not feeling it. Now I'm feeling worse than I was before. So instead, you kind of have to back off just a little bit and open up the affirmation to be more general.
Right.
So
I am safe is one of my ones. You know, feeling safe is something that's really important to me.
I am safe.
Yeah,
the
so
universe
I am safe.
always has my back.
Yeah.
Everything always works out in my favor. Wealth is all around me. Abundance is all around me. Abundance is a frequency. Wealth is a frequency. I have access to it. I'm tapping into it. You know, like when you are using softer affirmations like that, there's no resistance from your brain, and that's where you want to be. You want to be in a place where your brain is quiet.
Right.
Right? Like abundance is all around me. Yeah, it is. Wealth, I see wealth every day. Yeah,
That's true.
it's true. There's no argument, which is great. So when you're seeing wealth and when you're around wealth all the time, it's only a matter of time before it finds me. I'm open to wealth finding me.
That's a powerful one.
Yeah.
Especially
no
right now with
resistance.
our economy being the way it is, and, you know, people struggling to, you know, get gas or buy groceries.
Yeah.
It's like, how do they manifest when this is their daily reality? How do they manifest that?
Yeah, it does start with that internal system. And I think that anyone from a manifestation standpoint that is really big into manifestation, you can see where they kind of started off and how they built up from there. They started off bottom of the barrel, you know, and what's the difference between them and you? Nothing. There's no difference between you and the person that has everything that you have ever wanted. Except for their belief. Are you open to it? And then are you truly open to it? And then what are your self-sabotaging habits that you're doing? And how can you just shift those into something that can feel good to you? So even if you're waking up and you're starting your day with something that makes you feel incredible. For me, honestly, it's washing my face.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so simple. You know, brush my teeth, wash my face. I actually put ice on my face. I ice my face. And I'm like, oh, it just feels so good. Okay, wakes me up. It's invigorating.
I just need coffee.
Perfect, yeah. Maybe it is that. Maybe it's including a cadmium mini eggs into your vitamins every day. Okay, It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's making you feel amazing. Some people journal. Some people, you know, meditate. Some people don't have any time for that. Some people just start their day with a smoothie. Whatever it is that makes you feel good. You're looking in the mirror and you're like, God, I am gorgeous. Man, I just do not age. I am so young, so youthful. I feel amazing. There is literally nothing I cannot do. You know, I feel so incredible. Whatever makes you feel on top of the world, whatever makes you feel like you are starting your day on the right foot, do that. It costs nothing.
That's why positive attitude for me is that feeling that I just feel so much more powerful when I have those positive thoughts. But how does gratitude come into all of this? How does gratitude play a role in manifestation?
Well, I mean, I remember reading this thing one time where it was like, imagine that you, we've all seen that the kid that gets like the computer for Christmas or like something crazy for Christmas, and they're like, that's it? Or they just like take it and then leave, and they're like, what the, damn ungrateful kids, you know, or whatever. What do you think the universe does? Universe is giving, 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 giving. When are you showing gratitude for it? And the universe can always bring you more of what you already have. So you need to find that in your life already. If you want to operate on the same vibrational frequency as wealth, where does wealth already exist in your life? And wealth is not just money.
No, that's one word that we get that mixed up. We think that's
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many more things that can go with that. So I think that's where I come in. I can help people. Basically, I pull things out that people don't see.
So you would see it where they're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that are stuck in certain areas. And the thing is like, I would say 90% of the time, people are like, oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I do that.
One, how many times are people mad at how they grew up or mad at their
For sure.
mom and dad? They didn't realize their mom and dad did the best that they could based on how they grew up and the environment they grew up in.
Exactly.
And having gratitude for what they did teach us, as you mentioned before, that was really important.
Right. And sometimes we don't have a tendency of seeing other people where they are at. It's the same with someone yelling in your face. Wow, I must really trigger you. Obviously, whatever you're saying has nothing to do with me. And I think that this is the biggest thing that people need to understand. You cannot make someone feel something. You cannot make someone happy, and you cannot make someone upset. It has to live within them already. So no one can make you happy and no one can make you upset. It has to live within you already. Or else, right here, right now, I've just magically made everybody listening to this so happy. Boom, there you go. All your problems are gone. You're welcome. Did it work?
Oh,
No, it didn't. So you cannot make someone happy. You can only be responsible for yourself. And when you start really taking that responsibility to heart and really start making yourself happy, you actually pave the way for other people to be happy. That's why when you look at any of your mentors or people that you listen to, the podcasts you listen to, the people that you follow, the people that you look up to, the authors that you read every word, the people that you follow on TikTok, like what are they saying? It's because they are confident in where they are. They lead the way for you to also do the same. It already lives within you. That's why you're drawn to it.
and I guess life doesn't have to be as hard as, beating ourselves up and telling ourselves we're not good enough. Right. It's such a shitty place to live.
Yeah,
it really is shitty.
Yeah.
And so why not move to the other side?
Right.
Why not just be aware that we're in that shitty space?
Right.
And I always say, how long do you want to sit there? You can be there for 3 months. You can be there for 3 days. You can be there for 3 hours, 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Where do you want to sit? And the more we're aware of how we're feeling, we'll be able to move from the 3 months to the 3 second rule. Oh, I'm shitty. That's terrible right now, but I'm only going to live here for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get back to being positive. And I don't know any other way to be, because I've had so many things in my life, go wrong, hanging out with the wrong people or being with the wrong people, feeling bad and wrong about what I did. And it's just, there's no place in it,
Yeah. Well, what happened already happened. And this is a good example of, you can bring it up to your now reality. But I remember when I was younger, we would move a lot. And I was an extrovert trapped in an introvert's body. And so when we moved to new schools, I would see these kids that were loud and outgoing and fun and happy. And I knew I was that person on the inside, but I was deathly afraid to let it out, to be that person. And I remember we moved again. And I remember the thought process where I was like, nobody here knows who I am. I could just go in and be that person. I could be the loud one. I could be the one that isn't afraid to put my hand up or speak up. I could be the one that...
So did you?
I did. But...
And you didn't die? Nothing went wrong? You're still here?
Shocking, I know.
You're still here.
So it worked. Did it take a while? Yes. Because the one teeny tiny thing that I did say or do was monumental for me, right? Because I never did that before. But then looking around and I'm like, oh, everyone is normal. Like, no one's like looking at me like, why would she say that? I'm like, okay. I said something.
I think judgment is the one word we need to all take out of our vocabulary, because judging ourselves, nobody even gives a You know, they just don't care. They're doing their own thing. They're living their own life, and we're all afraid of looking bad. But it's not even in other people's equation.
Judgment normally comes from within ourselves, and so we judge ourselves really, really harshly. And again, everything is just a projection of what's happening on the inside. So it has nothing to do with you. So somebody else being like, "Ugh, your haircut is awful."
Thanks. I just got it done.
Awful. It's because my hair is frizzy, and I feel self-conscious about myself. So if I can take you down a peg, I'll feel better about myself. But does that actually mean your hair looks like crap? No, it looks fantastic, actually. But, it's just a projection of what's happening in here. So just like the 4 agreements, if you've ever heard of the 4 agreements,
it's a great
don't
book.
take anything personally, right? And imagine what happens if you didn't take anything personally. Imagine everyone's like a projector and everything that comes out of their mouth is just what's happening on the inside real.
That'd be scary. It'd be ugly, actually. We say we don't talk to our friends that way. Why are we talking to ourselves that way? We don't want anybody to hear that indoor voice.
It's true.
Yeah. Or we pretend, we pretend we're more confident than we are. There's always things going on for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think in that case, when people are pretending that they're more confident than they are, like it's, again, your intention. Intention is everything. So is it so that you can get over that hump of fear? Is that why you're doing it? Or are you doing it as a push of bravado so that you don't actually have to deal with what's actually going on?
Well, people can always see it. Like people know when your ego's engaged and you're talking from a place of confidence or
people usually know when you're a good person,
authentic.
They're attracted to your energy. And we've all been in situations where you walk into a room and you're like, I don't know what's going on with that girl, that guy. Like he just is, I don't know, a magnet. I'm so attracted to them. I want to be best friends with this person. They just seem so amazing, so confident, and they're just exuding this amazing light that then, like a moth to a flame, in you come.
A famous person, who is somebody that you've been attracted to over the course of your lifetime, that's somebody that you look up to?
I would say that I really got into Abraham Hicks, Esther and Jerry Hicks. Channeling through Abraham was a big one for me. Every time I listen to any kind of channeled material from them, I hear it differently. I could listen to their stuff on repeat and hear it differently every single time. Yeah, because
you're in a different place every time.
You're in a different place every time, exactly. The things that you're thinking about, the things that you're worried about, maybe it's a little bit on your relationship, maybe it's your friendships, maybe it's your career, maybe it's your health, maybe it's, your outlook on life, maybe it's your attitude. Whatever it is, you're going to think of something different every single time you hear it, and you're going to hear it in a slightly different way. That's the point of all of that channeled information. Even if you've ever listened to Bashar, all of that information is meant to be channeled to be timeless. It's timeless information. So it doesn't matter when you listen to it. It's not like, oh, that's so over.
Right. So
never is.
Just out of curiosity, why do you do what you do?
Because I'm friggin' amazing at it. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? Kind of like my story that I told you about the high school thing, like getting into a new school and just being like, I can do it. I don't think that people realize how much power they have. The power that they have to shape their life, the power that they have to shape what comes into their world. I don't think that, we always say, oh, you always have choice. Okay, great. But I don't think you understand the weight of that. And if I can help someone really shift their entire life just by picking up the tools within themselves that they were born with, you're born with these things. If I can get you to pick those tools up, you are winning. Yeah. And then to see that, I weep on a weekly basis in my career because I am just so overjoyed and so happy and beaming with pride and happiness and excitement
it's like you raised a baby.
Yes, exactly. And they're winning. They're winning. And they're just like manifesting the craziest things. And I'm like, do you know where you started? You know? And it's so crazy to think of, even for them, where they're like, this work has absolutely changed my life.
Right. Well, we're kind of living in crazy times right now, like with a lot of negativity, a lot of pain. It's a time we need more people that are manifesting good thoughts, good people, faith.
I will say though, like with that, there's a lot of suspicious things happening out there, and some people are like, evil is at an all-time high,
It seems that way.
It does seem that way. And I will say that if you are looking to manifest a better reality for yourself, you got to do a cleanse. And that includes disengaging from the social media. Yeah. Like I did this actually. My business account started out this way and I've never gone back. When you start your own Instagram page, start a new one, start whatever, only follow things that inspire you, things that bring you joy. Anything that's like negative, political, anything that riles you up, just don't subscribe. Because remember that what you take in affects you. That's why they say, what do they say? The 5 people that you hang out with the most is, you're the 6th. You are basically the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. It's the same for information. It's the same for what you're taking in with your ears and your eyes. Like, what are you ingesting in that way? A cleanse needs to happen.
Of the world. In a good way. In a good way.
Well, if you disengage, you don't give it power anymore.
Yeah. I just always think back on, Oprah and Deepak Chopra. They were very big in the world where there was a lot of peace. It felt like there was a lot of vibration around peace and confidence and positivity. And I just feel like all of a sudden that is disintegrated. So I think bringing it to ourselves, like bringing it to our friends, bring our positive energy to our workplace, it's really important right now.
Yeah. I have probably like a bird's eye, probably controversial, like viewpoint on like everything that's kind of happened in the world as of late, like starting even right as you're talking about the end, quote unquote, of that positivity being shown a lot, and then like this rise or uprise of evil or scare tactics or whatever
Craziness.
And I truly believe that the more that screams, kind of like a child having a tantrum in the aisle, when you disengage and you're like not paying attention anymore, then they're screaming for nothing. They just stop.
Right.
They're like,
nobody's listening to me anymore.
No one's listening. That's right. Yeah. That's exactly it. And that's, I feel, what is happening now on an energetic level, like globally. It's like all the screaming. And eventually you're just like, I can't. Yeah. I can't deal
We're not going to deal with this anymore.
I can't deal with all of the, the next latest thing that's out to kill me and the next latest evil in the world. And I'm not safe in my own home, in my own skin, with my own family. And just like, just so much oppression. Right. And so for you to just be like, okay, I just need to disengage for a while. I need to keep the TV off, keep the radio off. I need to, listen to what I want to listen to, the things that make me feel good. That then raises the collective on a one individual basis. And then
before you know it, we'll be through all of this.
Right.
We'll be to the other side where people are never going to go back to this again.
And I think that there are more of us than you think.
I know that's true.
Right. I think it's just, again,
there's a few bad actors that are creating the chaos that they're creating. Right. So,
but again, in Walmart, there's one screaming child. Yeah. But there's tons of people.
Or the airplane.
Right.
Right.
But there's tons of people in there. You don't hear them. But doesn't mean that the place is empty. Doesn't mean that the only thing that's in there is the screaming kid. Right. So again, you hear these screaming things on the news. That's just the loudest thing. But trust me, it's just an illusion.
Right. It's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
We're
It will.
manifesting that
Yes,
already.
Absolutely. We are.
Perfect.
We're already there.
Well, let's move to our speed round, our rapid fire round.
Ooh, rapid
okay, you ready for rapid fire?
I'm ready for rapid fire.
Morning ritual that keeps you aligned.
Totally the washing my face with the ice thing. Yeah, absolutely. Find the thing that works for you, whatever that is. Poof.
Good. One thing people should stop doing if they want to manifest more.
Stop giving into the negative spiral.
The voice in your head.
Yeah. Stop talking about things you don't want to continue manifesting into your future.
Yeah, and learning to be present, because I think when you're present, your thoughts can't get in.
Yeah.
You can't think negative and positive at the same time. So that's
Yeah.
why I believe in the clicker, because if you're in a positive state, you can't
Yeah.
let the negative in.
Yeah.
So,
Stop talking about the past.
oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it.
It's ugly back there.
It's actually harder than you think, but it's an easy way to think about, well, am I talking about the future of what I want? Or am I just keeping the spiral of what's happening in the past active in my field?
I think it's one thing that people miss out on date nights. Date nights should be about the future. What's the future that we're trying to achieve together? Because that's a lot more fun than talking about, in some cases, the past and things that didn't work so well.
Yeah.
So let's look towards the future. Yeah. The most powerful emotion for manifestation.
Joy,
Joy.
love, happiness. These are all high up on that
Peace.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest myth about intuition.
You don't have it. That's the biggest myth. There's nothing different between me and anyone listening to this. There is zero difference. The only thing is that I trust mine implicitly and you bury yours in what ifs, thoughts, fears. That's it.
Very good. A book or teacher that influenced your spiritual journey.
My mentor, Michelle Scrimger Brown of Spirited Healing, she's the one that completely opened me up to this world. But I would say The 3 Waves of Volunteers and The New Earth is a book that completely opened me up. The author is Dolores Cannon.
I just heard this the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. Weird.
You know what that means.
I should have read the book.
You should have read the book. It's so good. I'm telling you, it'll change everything.
Your favorite way to reset your energy.
I like to sage myself. Sage always seems to just clear me, especially when I'm feeling down. I don't know what it is. There's something about the smoke that is carrying some ancient place within me that is like, oh yeah.
I like to cook, so the smell of fried sage is nothing's like that smell. It is so good. I know it's not the same, but it is so good. One piece of advice for someone feeling stuck in your life.
I would say feel into why you feel like you're stuck. And then what is one thing that can bring you just one step closer to joy? Even if it seems totally tiny and insignificant. Even if it's just like eating a little piece of chocolate. It seems like it's not related to anything that can get you out of where you're at. But it's not true. Sometimes it's just the teeny tiny little breadcrumbs that lead us one step further, until we get to that clearing. And so I would say find that next one thing that actually would bring you joy and then do that thing.
The Halo is the name of your company.
Yes.
Why that?
The Halo is, have you ever seen the movie Avatar?
I have not.
So in the movie Avatar, there is they have braids in their hair, and at the bottom of their braid has like this little thing. And this thing can connect to anything. They're animals, they're trees, each other, okay? And so it's the connection between two beings. And in that movie, their language, which is actually a real language, it's called Navi. They speak Navi. They're part of the Navi. And in the Navi language, that connection is called sehelu. And so it's a derivative of that word. I broke it down, the helu, which roughly means the connection between two beings. So I connect with people, I connect with spirit, I connect with so many. And so that connection between two beings is where I had really gotten that concept. It just like kind of came to me, and I don't know. I love
manifested it, of course.
I manifested it, yeah. I channel the names of all of my programs.
So where can people find you? What's your phone number?
905-441-1117.
And I'm assuming
So many ones.
And I'm assuming you can help anybody in the world, because now we have Zoom and phone calls. And
I have clients all around the world. So anyone can reach out, and you can send me an email. You can go to thehelu.ca.
We'll put your information in the show notes for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going through actually a little bit of a revamp on my website and my branding. So there's lots to come. So I'm super excited about that.
Awesome.
So if there's any changes, I'll make sure that you get them.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to let me know in the comments and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you'd like to connect with Mervat, learn more about her work, or explore the Limitless Manifestation Academy, we'll have all of our links and contact information in the show notes. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode.